Okay, so I should probably state what's going on here. So after making many lefts and many rights, I finally found this particular strip that I wanted to put this camera to test for with the night capabilities, as well as whether it makes a difference or not to use night mode versus normal mode. Because sometimes it looks as if it's actually worse in some situations. So I'll just see what's better and what's worse. And this particular path I chose, I believe, is supposed to kind of look like a crescent or an awkward stylized C. So I think halfway through I might just consider switching it to normal and take off the night setting and see if it makes it worse or if it makes it better. Now, because this street does have some lights on it, I can actually see something, but when I was towards the south I could hardly see anything, and that was a bit of a concern, because I'm like, well, okay, I can't shoot this if I'm not able to see anything, because, well, if I can't see anything on this, there's no way I'm going to see it by the time I have it transferred to my computer or even the internet for the matter. So that was an issue that I had to fix. Thankfully now I can see something, so let's just hope it won't be too dark and that the other mode won't make it actually worse. Okay, I guess I have to actually look up, because it is really dark, and if I don't look up I might just run into someone, or somebody might run into me, so I just have to be careful. But at the same time, I don't want the camera bouncing too much, so it's kind of like I have to be doing both. I have to watch the camera, and then I have to look around just to make sure that I don't surprise anyone or spook them out too much. Although if they see me, they probably know what I'm doing, so it's nothing overly suspicious or creepy, but just in case. Now that said, it helps that this street's actually fairly quiet, so shouldn't be too much traffic or people all over the place. Not that that'll be an issue, because thankfully, unlike the last place where I was, I had no sidewalks. So that means there were cars you'd have to get out of the way or just move to the other side. It wasn't overly narrow, so it wasn't that big a deal, because there are some roads out there where it's just really narrow and then there's no sidewalks, so that's kind of double trouble there. But thankfully that's not the case for this one. It's also about 19 or 20 out here, I believe, so it's not exactly very warm. My hands are kind of cool. I mean, to some people that might be like, yeah, that's decent warmth, but for me, no, not really. So I can hardly see anything here because, again, it's just really dark, and it's a residential strip that I'm testing this on, so that makes matters worse. If this were a public street, there'd be a lot of lights all over the place, so there'd be lots to see. But thankfully, there are some lamps, so it's not that big a deal. So, wait, where was that? Here, should I pay attention to the intersection so I have a better idea where exactly I am? It looks like I'm nearing the northern part, so we're halfway through, so once I get halfway through I might just turn off the night mode setting and see if it makes a serious difference. I also have to watch the wobble just to make sure. I think there's somebody there. Hopefully don't surprise them or spook them out too much. I don't think it'd be that big of an issue though. I'm pretty sure that things would be alright. Don't know exactly where I am at this point, although it looks like I'm probably about halfway through the Crescent. I can hardly see what's happening here, but it shouldn't be that much of a serious issue. Okay, so you can see some light now, so should be fine. And it looks like there are no sidewalks at this part, or maybe there is on the other side. So, okay, just have to watch that person. Don't know where they're going. Actually, what am I talking about? There are no threats. Just want to make sure I'm not in their way, so that they do not need to honk, or that I do not need to dash like some wild squirrel, or worse, one of those crazy wild deer. So it looks like I'm almost halfway through. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, okay, I'm getting close to halfway through. And at this point, I'm just going to switch it to the normal setting and see how it fares from there. Somebody ahead, hopefully they don't spook them too much. Actually, then I don't know, I keep on saying that. Like, who am I honestly going to scare? But I don't know. Some people might just be like, whoa, what is this guy doing in the night? Okay, so I believe this is the halfway point, so I'm going to stop right here. Now I'm going to continue with the auto setting on and see how I fare with that. I am slightly concerned with the auto setting because I don't know how it's going to fare, but at the end of the day, I'll figure out. No, more so, I should say. At the end of the session, I'll figure out what it looks like. Should probably hop in the grass here. So it doesn't look too bad when there's light, but when there's no light, that could be a possible issue, because right now I can hardly see anything. So I don't know how that's going to go. Probably should just head over to the other side of the road. Well, I guess one way around this issue is to just keep heads up. With heads down, I'm just going to be wandering around in the darkness as if I'm in some wild dark forest or something, which is honestly, that's kind of what it feels like right now, because there is quite a bit of trees, but there's obviously asphalt, so you can clearly tell that I'm not in a forest. Okay, I don't know what's up with the lame commentary there, but whatever. It's a real issue. Okay, I have to also focus on keeping this thing still. So if it is too wobbly, then the stabilization is just going to make it look like a bunch of ripples. And ripples can look cool under the right circumstances, but this is one of them where ripples will not look so good. Okay, so I can see an intersection right there that's not going to show on camera. Now I could turn on the flashlight, but I don't know what's worse, a flashlight or just this. For now, I'll just leave the flashlight off because I can see, but I just can't see when I'm actually looking down at the camera. So I guess if I do sense something ahead of me, then I can just look up. But then if I keep my head up for too long, I might accidentally bring the camera down, or I'm gonna let it wobble around too much, and that's really annoying. So okay, right now I can see quite a bit of light on the other side, and don't really see anybody ahead of me, no cars or pedestrians, so it should be good. Okay, I should probably work on saying some more interesting things rather than constantly hitting on my surroundings and this and that and creeping people, but it's just too bad. I don't really know what to talk about to keep things extra interesting. Aside from the fact that well, I don't know, I guess I can talk about bats, and actually no, there are there bats in this area? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, I wouldn't know. Probably not. Those things prefer things like caves and maybe the forest, and this setting will probably be a little bit too urban for them, so we might not see them. But for the mosquitoes, on the other hand, those things are everywhere, so you might see lots of them. But again, because this is the suburbs, I'm on a street as opposed to the forest, I'm not going to see a ton of them. Okay, right now all I can really see are just the lights. So, just have to keep this thing up, which is why I don't want to hold my head up too much, because when I hold my head up, I hold the thing down. But yeah, so the mosquitoes, thankfully, not really biting too much. Oh, so I have on some spray to keep them at bay and some long sleeves, so that's a good thing. Okay, so no, the Crescent doesn't end at this point. I'm gonna have to watch for traffic. Just to keep it safe. Or to play it safe. Okay, so now that I've safely crossed the road, I can focus on filming. Thankfully, that guy was aware of what was happening, so he just carefully stood back and he's like, okay, let me just sit back in case this guy isn't aware of what's happening. But thankfully, I do know what's happening. This looks like the galaxy, kind of, with the stars, where all I can see is this. Well, okay, right, that's enough of that. Yeah, and just have to find something interesting other than constantly talking about my surroundings. Well, if only something interesting would actually happen in my surroundings, but not really the case. Because I mean, what more can you expect on a street like this? I'm not going to be seeing, I don't know, saucers flying or something, because that's just not the environment. Actually, hold on a second, never mind. What's that? Oh no, never mind. That's probably just a star or something, or a plane. But it's quite funny that as soon as I start talking about flying things, now I actually hear something. I know it turns out it wasn't a star, it was actually some kind of aircraft. Quite funny. I don't know if that's just coincidental or if he just decided to come by right now for the sake of entertainment, but I can't complain. And at least that makes things slightly more interesting than me just constantly talking about how I can't see and how if I hold my head up and then I have to jiggle the camera and all that other kind of awkward stuff. Oh my goodness. I'm probably going to cringe by the time I go to edit this and listen to my own commentary, and I'm sure other people out probably will, but whatever. The point of this is more so just to test the night capabilities in the two different settings, so don't pay too much attention to my commentary if anybody does actually watch this. And if you do, and if you happen to live here or are familiar with this area, you probably wouldn't be able to tell because it's just so dark and there's not enough details showing on the camera itself. Okay, so it looks like I'm nearing the end. Is there anybody behind me? Nope. Just to make sure there's nobody behind me, because if there is, then I might be in for some trouble. And yeah, it looks like I'm close to the end. So this trip wasn't as, oh well, okay, it was somewhat long, definitely longer than Bob Marr placed in the last time, but not as long as I thought, or maybe it's because I'm just walking pretty darn fast. Okay, so I finished the Crescent path that I set up for myself to test the two settings. One was night mode, one was normal. So now that I'm done here, I can probably call it quits here.